So, fun fact, how I got introduced into trading. How I got introduced into trading, it was during lockdown. I wanted some money to go buy some of that loud pop, some of that Zaza, and I had a problem because I couldn't make money. I was at home, and it was expensive to buy cigarettes. It was expensive to buy alcohol, all that stuff there. So I was busy scrolling on TikTok, and I saw this thing trading, and it promised me a lot of money. I saw these guys, and the people who actually inspired me to go and enter into trading was the Goat FX. If you know the Goat FX, they are two twins, and they are traders, and they're the guys that kind of inspired me to like trade and start trading. I did it. But the first time that they kind of inspired me to go into it, but the first time I was actually exposed to trading, it was my guy, my next door neighbor, Malpi and Uputuake Jr. They were traders at that time. I think around 2018, 2019, before COVID hit. That's the first time I ever heard the word trading and all that stuff there. And they were making money, buying Hennessy's from trading and all that stuff there. And I was like, damn nigga, I want to be a trader. I want to make the money that they're making, but I never had someone to introduce me to it the right way. So one day I called him, and we were just having a nice session, just having a loud pulp. We were here at home, and I was asking him, dog, I want to do trading, dog. I want to learn what you're doing. It was like, I don't want to teach you how to trade, but I can set you into the right direction. And what he did, he kind of told me the book that I should download. It was Candlestick Bible. If you know that book, it is one of the best books you can study when wanting to learn how to trade. And it taught me the basics of trading. And from there on, I just took it and ran with it, bro. I took it and ran with it, and I started trading, and I made money. I lost money. It kind of also inspired me to start my company, Green Thumb Fund. That's the company that I am currently operating under. That's the company that I've been building for the past few years. And there's a lot of ups and downs in terms of me like starting that company. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about the markets. I learned a lot about trading in general, basically what it is to be a trader, how to run a company, what is a business, and at that time I didn't fully understand what a business is and how it worked, but I was always inclined to be an entrepreneur, because the first time I actually started a business, I was in I think it was 2010. Yeah, 2010, just right after my mom and my dad divorced. So there was a sack of potatoes. I took them potatoes, I cut them up. I took a huge pot, which they used to cook in the functions. I poured oil inside, and I cut all the potatoes, which mom was going to use to cook for the month, and I sold it to my friends, and I took that money and I made sweets. When mom came back from work, she was like, what the hell happened here? Where are my potatoes? And I told them, no, I took them and I sold them, and I took that money and I bought sweets. And she whooped my butt, bruh. She whooped my butt, dog. I ain't gonna lie. That was a hiding I'll never forget. And then after that I kind of laid back on trading. I laid back on entrepreneurship, but I've always wanted to be a businessman. I've always wanted to like do something. I've always been a hustler. Got into high school, started a fashion brand with my friend Kuzo. Right now we're working on building a media company with him, Creators Block. There's a lot that's going to be going into that company and building it. So we're basically building it for creators. And I also started selling. I started selling that Zaza with my friend, and from there on I never looked back, because even in college I had like a little business here, like a food stall, where I would buy Russians, I would buy gizzards, and I would sell them at school, and I'd make money. I made a lot of money, bro. And then took that money, would have fun, spend it on me and my friends, would go buy liquor, we'd go and have parties. I already had spending cash in college because I had a business, and I also sold Zaza in college. So I've always been a hustler. I've always been a business person. I've always been like, I gotta make that bread. I gotta make that money. I gotta get it, dog. I always always gotta get it. I've always been that person to be like, let's go make money. Let's do this, bro. I've always been that person since way back, like crazy way back. So, yep. I took it and I ran with it. So after college, I was supposed to go look for a job interview actually to do my in-service training, because I started to be a municipal administrator. So that means I work for the municipal or any government institution. What I do, basically what my skill specialized in, it was understanding. It was a clerk, basically a clerk for the government institution, where I need to understand how the government works. I need to be able to financing, how to like to be able to put the documents in the right area and be able to understand the rules and the regulations that come with the municipality and all that stuff there. And unfortunately, that was not what I saw for myself. So what I did after college, I went and started working with my father. He owns liquor establishments, and I worked with him for about 2 years. And this year, I was like, nah, I gotta go focus on my dreams. I can't do this dilly-dally. I can't be working this side while also chasing the passion of being a trader, because I would suffer my Forex and my skill of trading. I would suffer because of that there, because I was trying to balance 2 jobs at the same time, trying to be a Forex trader and also trying to build a company, and also like working for my father. But at the end of the day, I was like, nah, I gotta go do my dreams. I gotta go follow my goals. I gotta fight for my dreams. And that's what I did, bro. And I went into entrepreneurship fully. There's a lot of skills and a lot of things I learned about myself in that journey. I learned a hell of a lot, people. I'm not going to lie. I learned a hell of a lot about myself. I learned a hell of a lot about dealing with customers. I learned a hell of a lot about selling. That's where I developed the skill to sell. And to tell you, I'm one of the greatest salesmen. People who would come to the store, they'd be like, nigga, you so good at convincing us to take out more of our money and spend. And I learned a lot in business and entrepreneurship as a journey in full. But I wouldn't I wouldn't do it any other way. I've always been like someone who likes to go chase their dreams and go after their dreams and like trying to achieve my goals and all that stuff there. So yeah, I don't want to lie. It's been a journey. It's been a journey, and still I'm not done yet. This is the beginning of my journey of becoming a full-time entrepreneur. At the end of the day, I'd like to own my own hedge fund and, build a company for investments, because a lot of people in Africa, especially black people, we don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to like finances. We don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to how to invest. We have certain investments tools or sections where we've been programmed to invest into, maybe like funeral policies and all that stuff. We're never been like truly taught how to like invest in the stock market, to invest in life policies, to invest in also other things. So that's another thing that Green Thumb Fund is also about, educating people about finance, about running business and becoming an entrepreneur, all that stuff there. So it's a huge goal. At the end of the day, I'd like it to use to be able to build upon that skill of finance, to kind of help my people, to kind of teach them how to make money with investments, because a lot of people pay monthly installments towards the wrong things. They don't understand if they could just take that 400 rand or that 500 rand and put it towards maybe a life insurance policy, or maybe like a certain certain indexes, they would double their money. They'll make more money. They'll become millionaires. They'll retire way more richer than the amount of money that they were gonna get when they were still they're going to retire with way more money than just the pension fund that they have secured for themselves, working for over 20 years, working for over 30 years. And that's where I saw the beauty in investing. I saw it as something that can really help people, help them get out of poverty, create generational wealth.